What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some recent Inflight200 releases. I last did an Inflight200 video on October 7th. It is now, well, this is late November that I'm recording this in. Not sure when this is going to go out just yet because the schedule is now filled with Florida excursion content, so we'll try to squeeze this into an open day if something is amiss. But here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at some recent Inflight200 announcements after the previous one that I did in early October. Going back to Waffle Collectibles once again for all the pre-order announcements that he puts out. This one is from October 27th. First up, starting off nice, a very cool Northeast 727-100, November 1632, wearing the older 1960s livery right before the Yellowbird became more prominent. We have a Polish 737 Max 8. This is the Bank Pekao special livery. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it looks like it's some Polish national bank or something. Pan Am 737-200. I think I had that exact registration in 400 scale with the Billboard livery. This is the cheat line livery from the 70s or so. Yep, 1970s. So not long after Air Florida went out of business. Then we have Malev Hungarian 737-700. This has the different nose cone color. I think that's the standard livery, though. Then we have a Cameroon Airlines. Never heard of this airline before. They operated a 747-300 Tango Juliet. I can't talk right now. Tango Juliet Charlie Alpha Echo. Then an American 777-200. This is the Susan G. Komen Race for Breast Cancer Cure special livery. So this is the breast cancer livery, just to kind of simplify it there. Then we have the Sustainable Aviation Fuel, or the future SAF 789 for United Airlines. That recently just started flying, and I know Gemini, they also have that up as a future release. KLM A330-300. This is with the 100th anniversary sticker. Papa Hotel Alpha Kilo Bravo. And then moving down, ooh, hello, Republic DC 950. That is right up in my wheelhouse. $95 for that. If I had more space for 1 to 200 models, I would definitely be picking that up. But that is very nice right there. Republic DC 950. Varig A300 up next. This is specifically an A300 B4-203 variant. A much older livery there. And then an Eastern Electra, November 5525. No special stickers or anything, just a standard hockey stick livery with that one. And then a U.S. Air Force. This is a C9A, and this is the military variant of the DC-9 used by the Air Force. This is the Nightingale livery that they wore. So it's kind of like a half-freighter, half-passenger aircraft, it looks like, judging by the big cargo door up towards the front. 71-0880. That aircraft, I believe, has since been retired. Virgin Atlantic A330-300, that's very nice. Did spot one of those in Orlando towards the end of our spotting session. And then a Swiss Air 747-300 to round out the first announcement that we have here from Inflight200. That's our late October announcement, and I think there is one more in here if I scroll through the list. There we go. So we have one from November 15th, so about a couple weeks ago now. Starting off, we have an E3A, or E3B Sentry, excuse me, the E3B. The AWACS, or AWACS, the one that has the giant radar dome on the top of the aircraft. 77-0352 is the registration. It has ZZ as the tail code on there, so I don't think that's a Tinker aircraft. A Varig DC-10-30, nice to complement that A300 from the previous release. And speaking of an A300, we have an Airbus Industry A300. This is wearing the fly-by-wire titles on it. Foxtrot-Bravo Uniform Alpha Delta is the registration. I'm kind of curious to see that aircraft's history. It is now with Novspace and is currently preserved at Cologne Airport as a static display. Very cool. So if you want to see that, you can head to that airport over in Europe. Turkish A310 up next with the old livery. Then a Tarom A318. They just retired that type recently, so Air France is now the last A318 operator in the world. Vistara A320 Neo up next, and that airline, they just merged with Air India not too long ago, so kind of an outdated aircraft now, if you will. DHL A330-300 with a German registration. Very cool. I think, yeah, it's it might be the first time I've seen the DHL A330-300 in model form. Then we have an Aerolíneas Argentinas A340-200 up next. in the old livery. Looks like a special sticker down there, something about like 55 or something, 55 years maybe. Eastern 727-100 with the old Golden Falcon livery from the 1960s, introduced right around the time that the Jet Age was introduced to Eastern's fleet. I remember seeing that livery in one of those commercials when they have the two young boys, the one eating the apple, and they're talking about the 727. I think most of you may know what commercial I'm referencing. Ansett Australia up next, another 727, the longer 200 variant featured here. And this is in the older 70s livery, very nice. Frontier 737-200. This is the older Crescent livery, also from the 70s. November 7381 Foxtrot. Wish that was the Saul Bass. At this point, I might as well just get a 200 scale version if that comes out, because I don't know when I'm going to find a 400 scale release. Piedmont 767-200 up next. November 608 Papa is a registration named City of Tampa. Very cool. They had these in their final years of operation and operated them to London. I think they flew to Gatwick, if I remember right, out of Charlotte. United 777-200 in the Unicon livery. November 78009 is registration, and this is one of the GE90 variants. Ex-Continental airframe. Then we have an American Convair 990. Very cool. Love all the retrojets we're getting in this release. The old Astrojet livery with the polished fuselage, November 5614. Moving down, we have an Air Jamaica DC-930. Very cool again. 6 Yankee Dash Juliet India Juliet is the registration. And then it looks like an Air Force L-1011. This might be a fantasy aircraft. Yeah, I think this is a fantasy aircraft, because I do not recall the Air Force having any of these, and this is in the Air Force One livery. Yep, it is fantasy model. Remarks mentions that being a fantasy, but very interesting. So I guess if you want an L-1011 with the Air Force One colors, there's your opportunity. And Air Canada A321 up next. This is with the 70th anniversary sticker. I did not know that existed. Trans-Canada Airlines 1937. So this is dated from 2007. Very nice. And then Northwest A330-300, that's also awesome. November 806 November Whiskey, and it does have the worldwide reliability sticker on it, so an older variant of that livery. And then the last aircraft is a Virgin Atlantic 747-400, which unfortunately doesn't have a picture, but it is the birthday girl livery. No, there's actually one more. Sorry about that. November 24th, there's a small batch announced as well. So it's just actually from today that I'm recording this, the day that I am recording this video. Taka International A319 is the first in this announcement. Exclusive for El Avador models, it looks like, as well. Also a Volaris A319, which is also an exclusive for them. Sam Columbia 727-200, an exclusive for JP60 Aero models. And the registration November 200 Alpha Victor, so an American registration. Lufthansa A319 Star Alliance livery. And then an Air Force 737-700, this is a C-40C, one of the transports for those in power. A Lufthansa A300 B4-203, Delta-Alpha India Bravo Alpha. Looks like the first A300 for them, if the sequencing's all accurate. And then a Condor A300 B4-203 as well. So here I am working on the video, and I just realized I actually missed a couple of the previous Inflight200 announcements that Waffle did, so we're going to go ahead and cover those real quick before we conclude the video here. First one is from October 11th, combined with some Herpa Wings announcements. Starting off, we have a US Air 727-200. This is the US Air Shuttle livery, and it is a former Trump shuttle aircraft as well. United 737-200. This is the 737 Friendship livery. And we have a Northwest A319 bowling shoe. This is the City of Duluth livery. A little sticker just underneath the front end of the aircraft. That was the first A319 delivered to Northwest. Duluth had a pretty big presence with the Northwest Airbuses. They have like a maintenance base up there, which is still used today, albeit by other carriers now, of course. Moving on down, we have an Ansett Australia Lockheed L188 Electra. And then an America West A319, November 808 Alpha Whiskey is the registration. JetBlue Airways A321neo with the Streamer's Tail 4022 Juliet. And then we have an Iberia A330-300 below that in the current livery. Air India A320. Have the Vistara one that was in another release that we covered in this video. They are wearing the Air India titles on the Vistara liveried aircraft. Air Tanzania 787, that would be helpful for 400 scale, as I mentioned in a Des Moines airport update that one of those actually visited Des Moines. So it would have been helpful for 400 scale. But we continue on to a Swiss Air A321. This is a Werlinos, something, yeah, the qualifier livery, it looks like. And then an Etihad A330-300. This is a Formula One livery for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Aero Condor 707 up next. Very cool, with a polished livery. Aero Condor Colombia. Aero Mexico DC-930. This is the old orange polished livery. Turkmenistan 777-200LR. I think that might be one of the newly built ones because they briefly restarted the 777-200LR production just for Turkmenistan orders. Sri Lankan A340-300 up next, and then a Lufthansa A319 with the old livery. Cathay Pacific 777-300ER in the One World livery, and also a 744 with the Same Team, Same Dream special livery. So really awesome announcement there from Inflight200. This is from October 11th. I think I forgot to mention that there, but if I didn't, well, there you go. October 11th announcement. And then there was another one as well just a few days after that. Looks like a small batch, just 4 planes. Scandinavian A300 B2/B4. This is an A300 B2-203 in the 70s livery. And then there's a Sabina A340-200 below that. KLM 777-200 in the new livery, and an Air Canada A321 in the standard ice blue toothpaste livery. So that is that announcement from mid-October. A couple of them from mid-October, just a few days apart. That's kind of the norm with Inflight200. You just get all those announcements on random days of the week, and they just come out whenever they feel like it. But yeah, that is all the announcements there from Inflight200. Now we'll finally head to the outro for this video. And that is all of the releases for Inflight200 for this video. Awesome set of announcements once again. That second announcement especially, just filled with retros all throughout. Really surprised with how many they have there for all the retros. That's incredible. But they do have quite the diverse selection of molds and castings, so they're able to work with a lot of cool aircraft types. Really excited to see what else they've got in the pipeline. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.